All right, guys, it's me again. I wanted to go over these codes and make things pretty simple because it's pretty difficult when you get D4 codes and you want to check on the internet for this. So basically over there to the right, I have everything still connected up where you short the OBD1 adapter, those two wires, and you either use a paper clip and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you. I had code 1, 3, 8, 13, and 14, and I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to show you. I had all those flashes, and I put it to number 2 right now, as you can see, and I don't have anything flashing anymore. So I got everything taken care of. I got my new sensors. I don't have the throttle position sensor. I actually have it taken out right now, so it's not registering that, but I have a new one coming in. Now, with the throttle position sensor, it's actually a cheap one off Amazon.com, and I have an OEM one coming in. So as far as these sensors are concerned on these Hondas, man, I would do your best to get OEM stuff. Okay, so, but then I wanted to go over like these right here, lockup solenoid and the one. So the lockup solenoid, I'm going to show you what that is. It's a lockup solenoid A and B, and I'm going to go show you what that is right now. You come right over here. It's a lockup solenoid. I'm not too sure which one it is, but you can see it's right down there. That's silver. I got my finger pointing right to it. And then there's one farther down, right below it. You'll see it. Probably hard to see on there, but you see where my finger is there. And then if you go down a little bit, there's another one down there. So that's for number 1 and number 2. And then the shift solenoid, A, B, 7 and 8. That's what those take care of. Both of mine were bad. The 3 is a throttle position sensor. That's right over here. That's that. You see my fingers pointing to it? That's the throttle position sensor, vehicle speed sensor. Most people know what that is. You just have to replace that if that goes bad. That's number 4. So number 1 and 2 is a lockup solenoid. Number 3 is a throttle position sensor. I have that taken off. And the 4 is a VSS. That's easy. A shift lever position. Okay. I'm not too sure about this shift lever position sensor, but from what I understand, that is probably right in here somewhere in that area. There's a position sensor you can get down there. They actually look like they're pretty expensive, but in that shift area right in there, you probably have to take that apart. That's what that is. Doesn't seem like that's a common problem. Okay, so shift lever position, that's for 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8, like I said, it's down there. 1 and 2 and 7 and 8 are for both those down there. If you can't really see it, sorry, but you see the silver, I'll put my finger to it. That's the top one, and there's one right down there. You can barely, let me try to get my finger right there. Okay, that's it. That's 7 and 8. Okay, now number 9 is called the countershaft transmission speed pulse generator. And then there's number 13, 9 and 13. Those are down there. You actually, with that one, it's on the front. There's one in the front and one in the back. It's like right back there, and there's one right there. You got to take your tire in this area, turn it out, and you'll see one there and one there. Those don't seem to go bad that often. I pulled them out and just cleaned them. So that's 9 and 13. Number 10. Coolant temperature sensor right here. Coolant temperature sensor is right there. Engine RPM, ignition coil, that's inside there. So if you have any of these 94 to 95 Hondas, you know, if you have this distributor and everything, you should just rebuild that and get your new ignition coil, get all that. That's what I did. Just, you can get that off of, you can order some off eBay. It's a Tech, I think, a Tech rebuild kit. And then you can put all this in there too. You know, you get the NGK plugs and get the NGK or Denso spark plugs and rebuild that whole thing, and it'll work just like it's brand new. And I would stay with OEM on any of that stuff, any of that right there. I would not deviate off OEM on that. Okay, and then 13 and 14. Okay, now we're down to 13 and 14. I already went over this, but I'm going to go over this again. So if you got 13 or 14, the first place you need to check is right here. You got to check the, you got to go in there, open that up, and check that. number 15, the 15 amp fuse, and check for the ECU on this one right here. You've got to check that and make sure that isn't blown, because 13 and 14, at 13, there's a bunch of misinformation out here. This one says main shaft speed pulse generator, as you can see. That's wrong. It's the it's the ECU. I can't remember the name of it was exactly, but it's the ECU. And then 14 has to do with miscommunication or the FAS wires. What everybody will say, FAS wire or the ECU is bad. But you have to check here first just to be sure. Make sure your fuse isn't blown. Especially if you have a situation where you have flashing D4 and it's flashing and your car turns over and it won't start or do anything. Usually if it's not any 13 or 14, the car's still going to start, but it's going to shift weird or be strange, shifting or sluggish and stuff like that. So it'll still go. All right, so that's what I want to just go over these with you and just show you. So let me go over real quick again. 1 and 2, the lockup solenoid A and B. It's either that one up top or that one on the bottom. I'm not too sure. I can't remember which one's which, but it's either that one. Let's just say it's that one up top. That's 1 and 2. And then down below, you see it down farther below is going to be 7 and 8. And then 3 is a throttle position sensor, which is going to be right there. That's a throttle position sensor. I'm waiting for mine to come in. VSS, vehicle speed sensor. That's easy. Shift lever position switch. I'm pretty sure, I'm not too positive on this one, that's going to be in that area. You got to take that apart. Shift solenoid 7 and 8, 9. Okay, 9 and then 13. That's those right down there. Right down there. So if you turn this back and you'll see them right there at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Okay? At 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. You'll see them right down there. So in that area. Okay? And then number 11, emission coil. That'll be in the distributor. And then 13 and 14. I just went over that. 13 and 14. You have to check here first on your ignition on code 1314 for flashing D4 on the 1994 to 1997 Honda Accord. But a lot of people seem to get frustrated with these flashing D codes, and they just don't know. But I'm just trying to make this simple because nobody has a video and going, hey, this is what does what, and this is what needs to be replaced. You just have to check it. Now, when you check these two, let's say, for example, you check, you have that. You want to check the connection in there and probably get clean it out really well for corrosion. You could spray some WD-40 in there because WD-40 dispels the water, keeps it from corroding. There's probably some better stuff that you can get, such as some marine spray. I heard some guys say they really like to use this marine. You got to go to a marine shop to buy it, but WD-40 will work. And make sure those connections are good. So, all right, guys, that's it.